Welcome back to the moving vlog part 2. If you're new here, my name is May and I run a small stationery business. This is going to be part 2 of the moving vlog, so if you missed out on part 1 of the moving vlog, I'll link it up above in the cards and also in the description box below. So where can I start? Basically, this move has been somewhat of a disaster, not going to lie. I'll get more into that a bit later. But I had hoped to film a montage of me setting up the new workstation, but with all of the delays that had happened with getting everything over, I basically wanted to try to fulfill all of the outstanding orders as soon as possible. Since my partner and I didn't have time to build the second workbench the previous night, my brother helped me quickly build it the next day so that we could start getting out all of the orders and figure out what items were missing and needed to be printed and cut. So I basically, just to get started with the order packing process, I pulled out all of the packing materials and scattered them on the workbench as a temporary fix. This was not efficient at all. You don't see this, but the printers are also running in the background, so while I'm packing orders and noticing the items are out of stock, I'm going ahead and printing them at the same time. At this point, the industrial guillotine hadn't been moved yet, but it was booked in to be moved in for the next day, so no biggie. I was just going to print the inserts beforehand, and then once the guillotine arrived, I would be able to cut them and finish off the orders. So after we figured out a booking day, I emailed them to ask what time I could expect them to arrive, but they never replied, so I ended up driving at 9 a.m. in the morning just in case on the day. Well, it was 1 p.m. before I decided to call them up because no one came and picked up the guillotine. They apologized and said, "Oh no, we should have called you to let you know we couldn't make it." So I was a little bit frustrated that day. They said they were going to get back to me with a new date, but I knew I had to get the orders out as soon as possible because it was already 2 weeks since a few people had already ordered, and I felt really bad that everything had been delayed and that the processing time had been extended. So I ended up driving back to the new warehouse to pick up the pages that had been printed, and then driving back again to the old warehouse where the cutting machine was still at, just so I could cut the pages, bring them back to the new warehouse and punch them, fulfill the orders, etc. It's about 30 minutes from the old warehouse to the new warehouse, so safe to say I did a lot of driving that day. So the guillotine ended up getting moved a week later, but not without issue. So with the guillotine, there's a safety key that's needed to activate the cut, and somehow I had forgotten to remove it during the move, and unfortunately, just my luck, somewhere along the way it fell out. I searched the old office to see if it had fallen out there with no luck, so I ended up calling the movers to see whether they could check if it was in the truck by any chance. They said they were going to get back to me but never did. So in the end, I just decided to contact the manufacturer to see if I could order a replacement key instead. Anyway, so apart from that, I'm relieved now that everything has been moved into the new warehouse space. I'm loving how open everything is and how easily accessible everything is. Since the new warehouse space has high ceilings, it means we can take advantage of the vertical storage. I'm so looking forward to setting up the new packing bench and the entire warehouse space, and also sharing how everything turns out with you all. So I just wanted to say also a big thank you for all of your support and patience with this move, especially with all of the delayed orders. You've all been nothing less than understanding with all of the unforeseeable delays that have happened, and I can't wait to see what this new space brings for us. With that being said, I hope you enjoy the rest of the moving vlog part 2. So this is what the packing station currently looks like. I think I would have mentioned before that I basically just tried to put this together as quick as possible so that I could get the orders out because of all the delays that have been happening. So this is a disorganized mess. So as you can see, there's not a lot of room for me to pack here. A lot of the times the tissue paper slides off the table, which isn't ideal, and there's really bad cable management. I've just wired everything along the back edge there. and connected it to the power board behind the printer here. But the plan is to kind of fix this all up today. I might not do the cable management today just because I want to focus on some other things instead, and I'm not sure exactly how I want the setup to be, so I might change things around. So like I might put the printer on the right side instead of the left side as it currently is right now. So I just want to maybe pack more orders just to figure out the optimal setup. But for now, what I want to do is to kind of organize everything onto the pegboard. And silly me somehow thought that these IKEA pegboard accessories would fit onto the Bunnings pegboard that I have here. And I don't know why I thought that, I don't know why I thought that, because obviously the IKEA pegboards are a completely different shape, so it's designed completely different. So what I did was I went to Bunnings and picked up some of their pegboard accessories. So I guess this is going to be somewhat of a Bunnings haul. I got these tubs to put the thank you cards in, and cello bags. They should hang onto this mechanism here, which goes onto the shelf. I also got these larger shelves as well. I got 2 of them to put the pre-cut water activated tape and potentially some larger cello bags, but we'll see how we go. And last but not least, I have this can of spray paint, and this is for a future project. So this is what we have so far. I have the tubs here with the thank you cards. This one was a little bit too big, so I decided to put it on the shelf. So these are all the freebies for orders, some cello bags for when I package stickers. I have this top shelf here with some packaging, my stapler, and some express tape as well. And over here we've got some plastic Velcro pockets to package orders and a lint roller for the dust bags, etc. The only thing is I didn't buy enough shelves to put the pre-cut water activated tape, so I'm gonna have to go back and get some more, but that's not a problem because I wanted to kind of play around with different layouts to see what I needed more of. So with my previous setup, I had 2 hooks coming out of the pegboards, and I actually lay this on 2 pegboards because these shelves are a bit too short for these, so I might actually stick with that method and get pegs when I go back to Bunnings next. So it's currently Tuesday morning and I have somewhat got a setup for the inventory area, because I guess it's technically not an inventory room now, but the plan is to line everything up in aisles so we can just zigzag back and forth to pick all of the orders. But while I was trying to figure out a setup, I noticed that the wheels have kind of gotten bent during transit, and I think it was because there was so much heavy stuff stacked onto the shelves and we basically exceeded the weight of the shelves. But luckily I have some extra shelves that aren't being used, so what I'm going to do is just take the stock off, put it onto the empty shelves, and then essentially swap them over. And this is the other shelf that's kind of starting to tilt. The 2 wheels there kind of bending, which is very dangerous because I tried to move this and the whole shelf was about to collapse on me. But yeah, I'm gonna switch those out, and hopefully that'll make me moving the shelves a lot easier and less dangerous.